11 billion ringgit. That's what Sunway put on the table to take over IJM in January 2026. Then, the story got messy fast because MACC stepped in with an ongoing probe that created uncertainty around the deal. Now, today, we won't be looking into this like a stock headline. We'll be looking into who is going to control the land and the future phases story. Because if Sunway gets the steering wheel, it's not just buying unit, it's buying IGM's platform, including huge township lands and strategic infrastructure exposure, then potentially applying Sunway's ecosystem-style operating mindset on top. So today I'm gonna break it down for you. What Sunway is trying to do, how Sunway became what it is today, using Bandar Sunway as the blueprint, and what this could realistically mean for IJM's projects, especially the Light City in Penang, including the future Phase 3 land that is still in early planning. So first, the deal. Sunway proposed a conditional takeover offer for IJM at 3.15 ringgit per share, structured as a mix of cash and new Sunway shares. After that, MACC-related news created a cloud over sentiment and timeline risk, while IJM started fewer than 10 of its bank accounts were temporarily restricted and the operations were not affected. So right now, the status is simple. Proposed, not completed yet, with approvals and timing still ahead. Now, the only reason this matters to you is because Sunway and IJM have different DNA. IJM is known for skill and execution across big lands canvases. So Sunway is known for building and operating an ecosystem where key anchors create daily demand and keep the place premium over time. So if the merger happens, the big shift is not everything changes overnight. The big shift is how future phases and commercial nodes are planned, curated, activated, and managed. To understand that, you need to understand how Sunway became Sunway. Hi everyone, this is Ray. Welcome back to another episode of the Malaysia Property Market Review series. Bandar Sunway or Sunway City started from a land transformation story, with Sunway describing the area as a rehabilitated ex-tin mining wasteland turned into an integrated city. And the key move Sunway made early was this: they didn't start by selling you homes. They built a destination first. Sunway Lagoon has been operating since 1993 and positioned itself as being built on a former tin mining site. Then, Sunway Pyramid opened in 1997 and became a major retail anchor. That combination matters because footfall comes first. Once people already have reasons to be there, the residential demand becomes much more resilient. Then, Sunway added the next two demand engines that most developers can't replicate easily: healthcare and education. Sunway Medical Center in Sunway City was established in November 1999. On education, Sunway's corporate milestone highlight Monash University Malaysia in Sunway City as the first foreign university campus established in Malaysia. So now you have the loop. Entertainment draws people in, retail captures spending, healthcare brings consistent non-cyclical demand, education creates constant rental demand and population flow, and Sunway also invested in internal connectivity. There's a 4 km canopy walkway connecting from Sunway University all the way to the other university nearby, and also nearby amenities like the mall and the hospital. So that sounds small, but it changes daily behavior. It reduces frictions. It makes the ecosystem feel like a real city product rather than a housing cluster. This is the Bandar Sunway blueprint. It's not pretty buildings, it's anchored that keep demand alive. And the blueprint is exactly why Sunway believes its land can generate higher value per acre than a traditional develop and sell model. Analysts have reported a comparison where Sunway's average GDP per acre is around 30.9 million ringgit versus IJM's 13.6 million ringgit, which reflects how Sunway extract more value by stacking the operation anchors, not merely building homes. Now, why IJM matters? IJM's property strength is skill. Seremban 2 is about 3,800 acres, and IJM Rimbayu is about 1,879 acres. That level of land runway means decades of future phases and planning decisions. So if Sunway takes over IJM, the real benefit to the property market is not rebranding, it's the possibility of an ownership mindset shift from develop and sell to develop and operate, especially from commercial and lifestyle infrastructure. In practical terms, three areas tend to change first when an ecosystem operator takes control. First, the commercial leasing and activation. Sunway has deep experience operating major retail assets and curating tenant mix, events and footfall strategy. If Sunway influences IJM's upcoming commercial components, you could see a different leasing approach and stronger activation because Sunway earns when the commercial ecosystem performs long term. Number 2, healthcare and education as demand engines. Sunway already runs this engine and has expanded its hospital blueprint over the years. So on IJM's land with future parcels, it becomes realistic that demand engines like medical or education partnership could become higher priority, not as a promise but as a logical extension of Sunway's historical playbook. Number 3, township experience and long-term maintenance standards. When a group owns and operates long-life asset, the incentive to keep the area prime is stronger because the operator's own asset depends on the location's quality. Now, let's make this micro and real. So we'll look into the Light Waterfront in Penang. This is an integrated waterfront development in Gelugor, and it's one of IJM's clearest city-making stories because it isn't only residential. The Light City is the commercial heart, described as a 32.76-acre precinct with components including the PWCC, the waterfront shoppers, retail mall, hotel, and office towers, plus residences, and the timeline matters. So PWCC was opened end of 2025 and the Light Exchange office suites targeting completion around 2026. The waterfront shoppers targeting opening around mid-2026 and the hotel later in 2026. And that is when an area's demand profile can begin changing because you get convention-driven visitors, retail and F&B activity, office daytime population and hotel stay layering into the ecosystem. And what's interesting is there's even a 50-acre phase 3 which is still on the very early stage of planning. That matters because early planning means the story is not finished. There is still room for direction to evolve. So what could happen if Sunway takes over IJM? So level 1 would be the retail and commercial curation. The waterfront shoppers is coming and activation strategies will decide whether it becomes a true destination or just another mall. Sunway has proven retail operations experience, so if Sunway influences this layer, it could translate into stronger leasing pull and more aggressive programming because that is what Sunway is good at. Level 2, internal connectivity. Sunway has shown willingness to invest in walkability and linkage like the Canopy Walk network in Bandar Sunway. For a waterfront precinct that wants to feel premium and seamless, connectivity between residences, retail, and convention components is not a nice to have. It changes daily usage, so it is realistic that an ecosystem operator would pay attention to that. Then level 3, adding demand engine over time. The Light already has a convention and a retail story. If Sunway is steering and sees future land, it becomes logically aligned that they would want to strengthen demand layer further because that is how Sunway's ecosystem model works. I've compiled an easy-to-read ebook covering 12 most popular projects in Penang, including their layout size, price range, maintenance fee, and project highlights. If you want to compare them side by side, you can find them in the link in the description below. Now the fair question, what if Sunway fails to get IJM? Then the Light is still the Light. The master plan components and the timeline are still the same. PWCC, the retail, offices, hotels are already part of the plan and are rolled out, and those are real catalysts that can reshape an area's usage and demand profile over time. So don't treat the Light like a merge bet, treat it like a precinct evolution story. If the merger happens, you watch for execution instantly and how aggressively the ecosystem gets curated. If the merger doesn't happen, you still watch the same thing, whether the commercial heart turns on, whether footfall builds, whether the precincts become real nodes in Penang rather than just a residential straps. And here's the final takeaway. If Sunway acquires IJM, the biggest impact to property market won't be overnight transformation. It will be future phases, future anchors, future planning decision, and perception repricing as the market starts pricing in a different operator mindset. MACC related uncertainty is the main near-term risk because it can delay confidence and timeline. But if you are a property buyer or investors, you don't need perfect prediction. You need to understand the incentives, identify which projects have real catalysts turning on soon, and notice which projects still have full land in planning that can evolve the story. That's why in this Sunway IJM story, the Light City is one of the cleanest projects to watch because the commercial heart is in rollout and Phase 3 land is still a blank page. Now I want to leave you with a question. If you were Sunway and you actually got control of IJM, Phase 3 of the Light is still at its early planning stage and you have got a rare waterfront canvas, what would you build there to make the precinct work 10 years from now? So by the way, there are still some ongoing projects here with unblocked sea view in the Light City. So if you're interested to find out more, you can check out the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen. So thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It will motivate me to create more contents like this for you. Until we meet again, ciao!